The vaccine.
Even greater.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Benny. We often say that corporate media is in bed with the Democrat Party, but did you know that there's a mating ritual that happens before they go to bed? Here, we have it captured for the first time on film. That's Chuck Schumer. Oh, yes, and that's Stephen Colbert. Very interesting, very interesting. Watch them gyrate and move about, very much like planks of wood that have been sitting in a rain bin, moldy, smelling of cheese and onion soup. Look at these complete ass hats, and look at that sad staffer girl that has to dance with them. Do you feel bad? Do you feel bad for her? Do you feel bad for her? I really do. I feel like this is how a lot of bad things happen for fussy little cat women like that. Ladies and gentlemen, why am I showing you this? I'm showing you this because this is a reality that corporate media is in bed with the Democrat Party, and these are the people who they should be covering, they should be reporting on, they should be making jokes about, and they should be lending levity to. This is the reason why we have people like Stephen Colbert. The purpose of an entertainer is to give you some escapism from public policy and the horrors and tortures of life. But instead, with guys like Stephen Colbert, when they get orders from guys like Chuck Schumer in order to push things like, I don't know, mandatory injections against your will, well, they come up with things like this.
Vaccine.
This is so unbelievably cringy. This is what passes.
Vaccine.
This is what passes as comedy. This is what Stephen Colbert has been doing. This is what Stephen Colbert has been doing for comedy on his CBS show. This is what's considered comedy. There's hours of this. Look at this. There's hours of it.
The vaccine.
Oh my God. Okay, so again, I deeply apologize to the producer that had to go through and clip all of those together. Mental Health Awareness Week. I'll be sure to send them on a cruise. Ladies and gentlemen, the problem with people like Stephen Colbert and the problem with late night hosts in general is that they are not funny any longer. And that is a problem that is being spoken about by actual comedians, people who are legendary comedians like Jon Lovitz, who tore into Colbert and Kimmel for pushing a political agenda in late night. They hammer it to death. If I want news, I'll watch news, Lovitz tells Fox in a digital interview. So Lovitz, who is, again, a legendary comedian, a lot of big budget movies, like SNL appearances, an original cast member of Saturday Night Live. Lovitz is a guy who is very, very keen on ensuring that we maintain some type of separation for politics and then for entertainment. That those worlds shouldn't be blended. Because when you blend those worlds, then you actually create something that is indistinguishable from late night MSNBC. Which is actually, interestingly enough, what Stephen Colbert seems to be morphing into, right? Like this is Rachel Maddow. He actually looks like him and Rachel Maddow are the same people. They are exactly the same. They look the same. They shop at the same place. They go to the same spa. They wear the same clothes and glasses and have the same barber. Ladies and gentlemen, Jon Lovitz saying effectively, this is not what late night comedy was supposed to be, and this is why nobody's watching anymore.
I don't like it. I don't like it. They were comedy shows, and now, except for Jimmy Fallon, they've all become very political. And it's, for me, it's just, it's too much. I mean, Johnny Carson would, he would do like, he would do 2 or 3 jokes about whoever was president then or what was going on then, and that was it. But they were entertainment shows, and so I don't. I know all those guys, and they're very nice guys, very talented. I know Seth, I know Stephen Colbert, I know Jimmy Kimmel. I think they're funny, But when they start doing the political stuff like so one-sided, it's like and that's all it is. The whole thing. It's just like that's not the shows that I used to go on. If I want the news, I'll watch the news. I'm not watching those shows. They're late night entertainment, but it's not. It's all political, except for Jimmy Fallon. And they keep getting mad at Jimmy. Why don't you go into politics? Because what he's doing it's a silly like escapism entertainment show, and they just hammer it to death. It's for me, and they've become. Here's my political agenda. They're very open about it, and I'm like, well, all right. I have no say in that. It's their show, But I don't particularly. I don't like that they've become that, because I go, where's the comedians and the stand-up and the bits and and like Letterman, it was comedy.
Jon Lovitz is entirely right there. In fact, the last time that I actually laughed or was entertained at all by late night TV was, interestingly, a guy who doesn't have a late night show, who used to have a really funny show, Jon Stewart, but now was also is been canceled from his own woke Apple show. So anyway, what can you say about this? Jon Stewart went on Stephen Colbert's late night show and roasted him about where COVID-19 was created. It was the last time that I had any interest in watching anything on late night. Of course, I don't watch late night, but I saw this and I said, my God, this is actually really, really funny to watch.
What do you mean by it? Do you mean like there's a chance that this was created in a lab? There's an investigation.
A chance?
Well, but
oh my
if there was
God.
evidence, I'd love to hear it.
There's a novel respiratory coronavirus overtaking Wuhan, China. What do we do? Oh, you know who we could ask? The Wuhan Novel Respiratory Coronavirus Lab. The disease is the same name as the lab. That's just a little too weird, don't you think? And then they ask those scientists, they're like, how did this... So wait a minute, you work at the Wuhan Respiratory Coronavirus Lab. How did this happen? And they're like, a pangolin kissed a turtle. And you're like, no, the name of your lab. If you look at the name, let me see your business card. Show me your business card. Oh, I work at the coronavirus lab in Wuhan. Oh, because there's a coronavirus loose in Wuhan. How did that happen? Maybe a bat flew into the cloaca of a turkey and then it sneezed into my chili and now we all have coronavirus. Like, come on. Okay.
Wait a second.
What about this?
Second.
Listen to this.
Wait a second.
All right.
John.
Oh my God. There's been an outbreak of chocolatey goodness near Hershey, Pennsylvania. What do you think happened? Like, oh, I don't know. Maybe a steam shovel mated with a cocoa bean. Or it's the chocolate factory. Maybe that's it.
That could be. That could be.
But unfortunately, late night has simply devolved into angry, ranting, screaming of postmenopausal women like Jimmy Kimmel, who weep and cry regularly on TV in order to try and, fill the empty void in their souls, I guess. Figure out who they are in their little therapy sessions with laugh tracks. And that is what this incredible clip from Jimmy Kimmel's show is, the most depressing clip, where Jimmy Kimmel tries to come for my boy Tucker Carlson, and it doesn't end well for him.
Diarrhea points from foreign governments. If it weren't so brazen, it would almost be funny coming from this loathsome, un-American Moscow mule.
Loathsome, un-American Moscow mule. Got it? I'm laughing. All of America is laughing with you. Late night comedy has has never seen lower ratings. That makes us very, very happy. This is what happens when you piss off half your customer base. And this is also what happens when you use the platforms and the places where people used to just simply gather to have something that's non-political. Bud Light, Disney, Target, late night, all of these places used to be non-political. You used to be able to go in and just have a beer or go to a theme park or just laugh at the TV. And you couldn't help yourselves, could you? You couldn't stand it. You had to go and take over whatever little fiefdoms that you had and use it as propaganda. But we're not going to be propagandized. And people are really sick of it. People are really finally over it. And thank God. And thanks, Jon Lovitz, for actually being funny and standing up for your craft. It's your boy, Benny. Like, share, and subscribe to make comedians funny again. See ya.